something you forgot along the way. And today's story is number 43, Rewarding the Unfilial Son, an approach to good and bad. A samurai was on a journey. His retainer fell behind, so he paused to wait for him. At last the retainer came rushing up, out of breath. "What were you doing?" asked the samurai. "My straw sandals broke, so I was fixing them." "Who gave you the straw?" "No one. I took it from some rice plants laid out to dry by the side of the road." "Did you ask permission first?" "No," said the retainer. "Nobody would care about a stalk or two of rice straw. Everybody does it anyway." "You fool," said the samurai. "I won't put up with such an attitude. Everyone else may allow it, but I will not. Go back and ask the owner's pardon." The samurai well knew that those two excuses, "Everyone does it," and "It's so small it doesn't matter," are always on the devil's tongue. Lord Tokugawa Mitsukuni, 1628 to 1700, was on a tour of inspection. A local man, known for abusing his mother, heard that the Lord would reward anyone who demonstrated uncommon filial respect. Eager to receive a prize, he hoisted his aged mother on his back and joined the parade to welcome the distinguished visitor. Mitsukuni caught sight of the man carrying his mother and ordered an attendant to reward him. "Surely you don't mean it, sir," said the attendant. "The fellow is known for the atrocious way he treats his mother most of the time. He's only here today, with her on his back, to try to fool you into giving him something." Mitsukuni listened thoughtfully and then said, "What difference does it make? Even if he's only making a small gesture, and even if it's only for today, that's all right. The important thing is, at least this one time, he has accorded her proper respect. Give him a rich reward. He who comes in contact with red dye is stained red. We are shaped by the people who surround us. He who associates with good people will find himself or herself becoming good. Do good, even if it is only an act of imitation." Okay, very good. This is one of the controversial stories in the book among Westerners or Western audience. And because, yeah, people didn't feel so happy that the quote unquote bad guy in the story was rewarded. But actually, this story is teaching us a very important lesson about education and how it is ever possible to have a positive impact on other people who might otherwise choose a wrong path and bring ruin to themselves and to other people, creating lose lose situations. So I think actually it's a very powerful lesson. There were two stories side by side. So the first story was teaching us about not looking down on any act, thinking that, oh, it's so small, it doesn't matter. This mentality goes against the universal truth of the law of cause and effect. And anytime we are not in alignment with the law of cause and effect, we have to suffer in life. So obviously, we don't want to suffer. So we need to um, become aware of lack of alignment we have and try to correct our attitude and behavior. We need to cast aside the belief that, oh, this is nothing. It's so small, it doesn't matter. If you're familiar with Japan or farming rice. So once they harvest the rice straw, which is not the main product, they just use it. It's the side product. Use it for making maybe bamboo flooring mat. So it's kind of inexpensive or cheap, but still it belonged to the owner. There was an owner, the farmer who owned it. So to just pull out one or two straws without asking for permission, in Buddhism, that's not proper. It's almost, yeah, it is stealing. Yeah, it is stealing. It's not, it doesn't belong to us. I didn't work hard to raise it and harvest it and put it into nice sheets. So, yeah. So to think that, oh, this is nothing, this is actually perpetuates and it escalates and it makes that person create more and more unwholesome karma from which they can no longer escape. So it actually drags them down to the abyss, or it's like a trap. It's the start of it. So as a spiritual person who wants to practice mindfulness, paying attention to details and being present every moment, we need to be very mindful of that. And then by the same token, in the second story, so an adult son who was taking care of his mother, but then also he was abusive to his mother because maybe the mother was bedridden and he would take his frustration on her. But when he found out there is this opportunity to receive an award for being a good son, he acted or pretended as if he's a good son. So usually we think, oh, that's an imposter. That's not real. We shouldn't, give any attention to such a person. But actually in Buddhism, no matter what kind of a good deed, kindness it is, if the kindness, even if it's an act of imitation, that means their intention is not pure, but at least in behavior, the body is following something good. He was carrying his mother on his back, and the mother was enjoying the parade, maybe after being at home for so long. That was a very good deed. And to recognize the good in other people and commend them for it, that creates win-win situation. And whoever person who doesn't know the joy of giving and who doesn't have happiness in his or her heart will begin to see, wow, it pays off to be good and kind and carry my mother on my back and be generous. And in this way, the person is more likely to repeat that kind act again and again. And that person too becomes a very good human being, someone that contributes a lot to society and creates always win-win situations. So do good even if it's only an act of imitation, and gradually we will be able to purify our intentions. So the good deeds we practice is not just, on appearance, but the mind will follow suit later. So it's a practice or training of the mind. Very good, everyone, for being here. Good job. Take good care. And today is Monday. We're going to have the Right View Lab, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and have a wonderful start of your week. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Gary.